What is good, YouTube? A Squad 72, and today we're back for some more. That time I got reincarnated as a slime anime. I guess this is a review because the first video I did was the first impressions, and that was episodes 1 through 3. So I guess now 4 through 6 and on, I guess they'll just be reviews because I don't know what else to title it. So yeah, we'll leave it at that. But I'm gonna go ahead and jump right into it. So basically things kind of slow back down. It was one of those things where, okay, so pretty much Rimuru and company, they venture towards the Dwarven Kingdom and they're looking for people to help develop the Goblin Village. So Rimuru, along the way, because it took them, I want to say like 3 days time to get from the village to the kingdom. But normally, I think Gobta told Rimuru it takes them several weeks to get there. But since they have the direwolves that are kind of like mixed in with the goblins now, they're like, hey, you know, y'all are companions now, you know. So the direwolves are helping out the goblins, so on and so forth. So they made the travel, the journey, I should say, in like 3 days time. So that was pretty cool. And along the way, Rimuru and Tempest, is it Tempest or Direwolf Tempest? The main Direwolf, the very first one that he named, who was the son of the other pack leader Direwolf that Rimuru killed, pretty much his dad. Rimuru asked him, hey, you know, listen, I always wanted to ask you about this because I just really want to know what you was thinking, basically. So in a nutshell, Rimuru asks Tempest, he's like, hey, listen, I killed your dad. Don't you like want revenge? Aren't you like upset about it? So on and so forth. And so Tempest he replies simply, he's like, I mean, yeah, I've thought about it, but at the same time, he's pretty much letting him know that, yeah, you killed my dad, but then you spared my life, not only my life, but my pack's life, and then you also named us, and so like for that, I am greatly in debt to you, and like my loyalty to you is like it knows no bounds, pretty much. And so that was pretty cool. That was a really cool moment, only because you get insight on how direwolves think based off of, I guess, just how their packs are operating. So he's like, yeah, man, you know, I thought about all that stuff, and it's not worth it to him, because clearly Rimuru doesn't understand that he's pretty much taking on the Storm Dragon's mantle of like the big bad in the area. He still doesn't, nobody still really kind of gets that yet, and that's I don't know what it is. It's interesting to me because like nobody really knows what's going on. They just know that the dragon is gone, and we'll touch back on that point later. But I thought that was a rather interesting tidbit that they added, because it just shows how wolves rationalize the things that happen to their pack and pretty much what happened up until this point to the story. So I thought that was a real cool, like, I don't know if you can call that character development, but it was just a little something extra they threw in that I thought was kind of nice. So like I said, they made it to the Dwarven Kingdom, and Rimuru and Gobta, they're going into the city. They told everybody else to stay back because it's like, hey, listen, we don't want to raise any attention. You know, a bunch of wolves and goblins show up, people start asking questions. Just y'all cut back. Me and Gobta, we finna run in real quick, grab some people. You know what I mean? Well, you know, not grab some people, but pretty much we're gonna go in, scout everything out. We'll come back out, meet up with y'all later, and then we'll head on back. Oh my goodness, my notifications. So yeah, we'll meet back up with y'all, head back to the village, get everything built up. Easy mode, right? So standing out in front of the city to get in, there's a line, and these humans walk up and they see Gobta and they see the slime, and they're like, what are, you know, weakling monsters doing? Because these are humans. I don't know if I just said that, but they're humans. And so they show up, you know, just being humans. Oh, something's weaker than me, let's beat it up, so on and so forth. And Rimuru was like, nah, we're not having this. And so he was trying to tell Gobta, I need you to not only close your eyes, but close your ears too. And so in defense mode, he's like, hey, listen, I don't want to hurt anybody. I just want these guys to leave me alone. So he like mimics a direwolf. He mimics Tempest, like the one he just spoke to. And he's like this larger version, like this just giant wolf. And he's like, man, I think my ability has evolved somehow. So he lets off this giant get back scream, which devastates everybody in the area, which causes like it causes several people to I forgot the exact stats, but it caused people to like faint. It caused like weird injuries, and some other people fled. But they had like other little stats that popped up. But I thought it was pretty cool too, because like his roar was not, it wasn't an ordinary just get back roar. Like that was an actual attack that he used. That he wasn't, he doesn't have a control on his powers yet, which you would think as the time passed, since he's absorbed the Storm Dragon, he would have a better handle, but he hasn't really had to fight anybody other than the direwolf. So that was a thing in itself, which lands them in jail because you know, the king, on their way to the village or to the kingdom, they were saying, hey, listen, the king is a very strong dude, but he doesn't allow any violence within the city. So they were saying that, hey, since we're outside the city, it shouldn't be a problem. But they were like, nah, bruh, we're not having that. So basically that lands them in jail. Gobta and Rimuru are in jail, but as they're being put in jail, there were witness reports of what happened, and to the testimonies of the people who were just there, they were like, yeah, they didn't do anything wrong. They were just defending themselves, which would have gotten them out of jail. But since it was an emergency happening, some other dwarves were, I guess, injured. So Rimuru in good faith was like, hey, listen, I heard your guys are hurt. I happen to be a slime dude. I can make potions, so let me help you out real quick. That'll help us get up out of jail. So they were like, cool, whatever, you know, chop it up real quick. Rimuru makes his giant barrel full of like high-level potion, and all is well. So the dwarves do come back, and they're just like, hey, listen, check this out. We just need you to like just be cool. So Jailer's name actually is Kaido, which is made me like think of One Piece, because one of the Yonkos in One Piece is Yonko. What is this review? Oh my goodness, I'm rambling. So it doesn't matter. The point is, his name is Kaido. He's a pretty cool dude, and he introduces him to the blacksmith, which is Kaijin, which he plays an important role. But long story short, Kaijin has this task that was placed upon him from a former superior. Now, seeing that this whole thing, because you don't really know that up until later on in the episode, but he has a task of making like 20 long swords, and since he's like, I think, the best blacksmith in the city or in the kingdom, all the stuff is going through him. So they gave him a pretty much impossible task, and he has to finish it by the end of the week. So Rimuru, being this, you know, friendly neighborhood slime, he comes through and he pretty much replicates 19 more of these swords in like 25 seconds. It was the craziest thing. So his quota has now been met. And so this is where it gets interesting, because later on, I think I want to say episode, it might have been that episode 3 or 4. It doesn't really matter at this point in time. But basically the events unfold like this. They go to this, what I'm gonna call a tavern. And basically we find out here Rimuru is just like a huge perv, but this was already known because the dude's dying wish before he got reincarnated was, hey, you know, my princess, I need you to go to my house and destroy my computer. Just dump everything in the tub full of water. Just destroy it, get rid of that stuff. Nobody needs to know what I look up. Nobody needs to check my web browser history. I feel you. So listen, that whole thing happened, but we see all the elf workers, because he has a thing for like elf females. So it's the tavern's filled with elf females, and basically like Rimuru is in like heaven right now. So remember I just mentioned the former subordinate of Kaijin, because Kaijin happened to be in the army for the king. So this guy was a subordinate to Kaijin, and he's just giving him a living hell for no particular reason. So the whole thing kind of, it spirals out of control due to the fact that his name is, I want to say his name is Vesta. His name is Vesta. He's a priest. I thought he was a high priest, but he's not a priest. The priest pretty much says the slime Rimuru shouldn't be in the tavern, because basically it's a lower life form. He views the slime as a lower life form, and he doesn't know that Rimuru is probably the strongest thing in the region right now. But nobody really knows that. They just think that's a very peculiar slime, because it can talk, it can reproduce stuff. It's doing things slime shouldn't actually be able to do. So it's kind of peculiar that this slime is doing all this stuff. But Vesta doesn't know this. Vesta takes a drink, pours it on Rimuru, which is mad disrespectful, because I was like, yo, Rimuru, man, you can't take that. You gotta do something, bro. You gotta like turn into something. So Rimuru, he's keeping a cool head. He's like, you know what, man, It's cool. Like, I can't really feel this. It doesn't bother me. That the gesture itself is like completely out of line. So he's like, no, but you know what? I need these blacks. I need the blacksmith. I need his homies. I need everybody I can on my side to help me rebuild this village. So I'm gonna keep a cool head. Kajin on the other hand, he like, no, bruh. You got to get all this smoke. So basically, Kajin and Vesta get into it, but it's not even really more of a get into it. Kajin just throttles Vesta, and everybody's like, yo, Kajin, you know you can't do this, bro. He's a priest. Like, we all going to jail. So basically, they find themselves back in jail, but this time, like, literally everybody's in jail except Vesta, because he's the priest and he pretty much answers to the king. So with all that being said, they got to go to court. And everybody knows, I don't know if y'all know, but like, court ain't fun for nobody. And this court is extremely not fun because the defendants can't talk unless the king requires them or tells them to speak. So their defense does all this, like their attorney, their like lawyer, like they do all the talking back and forth. So the thing about it is, and this is like the really messed up part, because Vesta is just like a backstabbing weasel. Just he's really not a good guy. He's really a terrible person deep down. So he pays off the I can't even really call him like a district attorney. Like, he's just a lawyer, but he's like the prosecution and he's the defense lawyer. He's one guy and he's going back and forth. He paid him off. And so after everything's been said and done, because the trial lasted, I'm telling you, like, the trial lasted, I want to say like maybe like 60 seconds. It wasn't much of a trial. It was, hey, listen, this dude, I was minding my business. Kajin and his band of thugs walked up, they just beat me up, and then they just left. Like, that's complete. That was a story that was spun. And so the king is like, I know this guy. He served under me for a very long time. And I'm kind of paraphrasing because all this stuff didn't really necessarily happen this way. But basically, in a nutshell, the king's like, listen, Kajin, I can get you out of this, bro. All you gotta do is just say, listen, king, I want to come back and work for you. I want to be back in the army. I can get you and your boys out, everything said and done, no charges. We just go home, act like this whole thing never happened. But Kajin has this weird, I can't even call it weird. He just has this sense of, I guess, like, honor. And since he told Rimuru, since you helped me complete my task of the 20 longswords in a week, I'll help you develop your town, develop the goblin village like I said I would. So he told the kings, like, listen, man, I can't do that. I found something that's better and I won't leave it even if you order it. And so the king's like, all right, man, like, because you can tell the king, he's like, yo, like, what are you doing? I'm trying to get you out. Like, you not helping the situation. So basically he's like, all right, man, because I don't want to kill you because you served under me for however long, because they don't really give us a backstory of how long Kajin served under the king. But he's like, all right, you the homie, I need you to just get out of the kingdom. You're exiled. I can't talk to you anymore because you know the rules. So him and his band of quote unquote thugs, him and his boys, they get exiled along with Rimuru and Gobta. So they're all exiled. Actually, you know what, I take it back. Gobta isn't exiled because he was still in the cell. They left Gobta in the cell for the entirety of like the whole kingdom situation, like the whole Dwarven kingdom fiasco. Gobta was in a cell, knocked out cold, asleep. So they get exiled, but Gobta made it out by summoning up his direwolf, which Gobta now is teaching other goblins how to summon their direwolves, which is pretty cool because we get into summoning in like the 6th episode. But yeah, we get into that right now. So basically, 3 weeks had passed, and this was pretty cool because they showed how they're developing the city. And well, I can't even really call it a city, it's just a village. I keep giving the wrong names to like these bodies of, like, it doesn't matter. So pretty much the village is being developed, the artisans are helping out, and they're doing extraordinary work because they're making a lot of progress really quickly. So remember I can't even call them journeymen. It was like a reconnaissance team to find out what happened in the cave with the storm dragon, because all these monsters have been moving since the dragon is gone. I guess the balance and power has like shifted. It's a power vacuum, or it's just the simple fact that the big bad of the region is not there. So just a whole lot of debauchery is happening. And basically, the humans are trying to find out what's really going on, because they got to get a handle on all these monsters. So the thing about it was that they had to go back out. Their commanding officer only gave them 3 days to rest after they got back from the cave, but then they sent them right back into the field. But they added, her name is, I want to say Shinzu. And the cool thing about this is that we found out more so towards the end of the episode, but she's actually from Japan. She's actually from where Rimuru is from, but I think she's from a different time altogether. So she had been summoned there, and I'm skipping over a lot of stuff in this episode because episode 6, it was really just to catch up what happened. It was just that they're giving the reports on the dragon situation, because nobody knows what happened to the dragon. They're just like, listen, we got to find out what's going on, because nobody's figured out that Rimuru has absorbed the Storm Dragon Tempest, which I call him Tempest, but the direwolf is also Tempest, but it doesn't matter. So yeah, Shinzu, I'm gonna keep saying Shinzu. Y'all can email out in the comments. It's fine. Shinzu is she's a summon from Japan, and Rimuru has the ability. Rimuru has all these abilities to like communicate his thoughts, replicate things, mimic things, just do literally whatever he wants to do. So either the slime character, or like the slime race is just the most overpowered thing in this particular verse, or just the great sage that's in his head just allows him to do literally whatever he wants to do. So yeah, because he noticed, because Rimuru picked up on the way she was sitting, the way she was eating, and he's like, yeah, she might be from Japan. He says something that reminded her of, quote unquote, a game that she used to play or that she heard of. And he's like, oh, okay, so where did you come from? She's like, yeah, I'm from Japan. And they notice they have this in common. But previously, I want to say in episode either 4 or 5, one of the elves, she could do like clairvoyance type check, like a clairvoyance ability, or just some type of like sixth sense. And she showed Rimuru a glimpse of what this chick actually looked like. So he communicates her thoughts to her, which shows her how, I guess, Japan had developed at a point in time. But she breaks the news to him that, yeah, I didn't have to die and be reincarnated. I was summoned here. And then he remembers that I think the Storm Dragon told him about summons and about how it's very powerful magic that can be used, but it takes a lot of it. It takes a lot of energy to do so, to summon somebody from a different world, a different dimension. So she was the result of that. So basically, she's been here for a very, very long time. Like, we still really don't know how long she's been here, but she still retains all her memories from when she was back in Japan. But she has an affinity for fire, which they showcase because they're her group, that reconnaissance group that was in the cave that ventured out again, they were attacked by giant ants. So she used her affinity for fire to defeat the ants. But something is wrong with her, because after, I want to say the last ant that was there that attacked, she couldn't take out due to like some weird affliction that she has. But pretty much that's the long and short of the 6th episode, because it, like I said, it literally wasn't much, but it was the only bit of action we've actually got since the direwolf situation. And I'm cool with that, because I feel like based on like the opening scenes, the opening of the actual show, it's gonna like really ramp up here soon, because I think the series is only 23 episodes, but it's gonna ramp up. I hope it ramps up, but I still have high hopes for this show. But yeah, man, the long and short of it, I guess like between episodes 4 and 6, it was a lot of stuff being fleshed out about the world of I don't even know what the name of the planet is. It's just they don't really mention it like that, or that I can remember. But the long and short of it, I keep saying the long and short of it, that's probably going to be the title of this video, just the long and short of it. So yeah, pretty much I enjoyed it. I'm enjoying the ride. It's not so much like, oh, I can't wait till we get to the action. I'm actually enjoying the quote unquote scenic route of how this anime is being laid in front of us. Because again, like I said in the previous video, I really like world building. I really like things like that, because the more you know about the world and how it operates, the more you can really kind of get into it. And like I said, I get immersed in things very, very easily. So seeing cities, seeing how they interact, seeing the different rankings within those cities, seeing how just people operate, and how like dire wolves think, and how the dwarves have, I guess, like a sense of like nobility, or like it's like they have a certain way they conduct themselves that really intrigues me. And so, and final thing too, I forgot to mention this. The king, he sends out spies. It was a spy at the end of episode 5, I think. And he's like, listen, watch the slime. Something's up with the slime, because there's no way slime should be doing all this stuff right here. So the king, he's suspicious, and he's like, yeah, because we have a dragon that's out on the loose, and we don't know what's going on. And this slime shows up, and he's making like the best potion anybody's ever seen. And it's like, it's just no way that should happen. So the king has his suspicions about Rimuru, and it's a thing, man. It's definitely a thing. So yeah, but I mean, I guess I'm gonna go out of 5. I guess I have like a system out of 5. Actually, no, I won't even do that. I won't give it a number rating. I'll just give it a letter, because I feel like numbers are kind of outdated. But yeah, so all in all, for that time I got reincarnated as a slime. These last 3 episodes, I give it like a solid B. Solid B, because actually, no, I'll give it it's a range. It's a letter range, I guess. Is that the thing? Point is, I like it. I say like a C+ to a solid B, because we didn't get much far as like development, as in what's going to be like the overarching thing of this season. It's just a lot of introductory stuff still. So like I'll give it a C+ B, somewhere in that area right there. But yeah, man, it's I'm liking it. I hope y'all liking it too. I know this one was a little bit longer than the last video, but it wasn't a lot going on, but like I saw a lot of stuff that was like, all right, look out for this, look out for that. The king's up to some stuff. Shizu has an affinity for fire, so, and she's a summon who's just been here for a long time. So apparently summons don't age, so keep that in mind too. So yeah, that's pretty much it. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share this video. What do you guys think of this series so far? Have you like watching it along like with me, or have you seen, like, I probably already asked this question before, but yeah, definitely, if you guys like the series, let me know. If you don't like the series, let me know. If it's something I missed that you caught, let me know in the comment section down below. Like, let me know, because I like this show. I like talking about this show, and I'll just get back to y'all next time. So I'll holler at y'all later. Peace.